Hello and welcome to the video. Today we're going to take a look at a triple Stardust unlock team here with the Obstagoon in the lead, this time around with Cross Chop and not the new move Obstruct here, as we catch beautifully this Sludge Bomb on our Ariados. Ariados is something that you don't really see too often, but this Pokemon packs a punch. This Pokemon is actually, in my opinion, the best Pokemon out of this team, and it's really cool because it has access to Lunge, it has access to Cross Poison, which is a cool move that can boost your attack, which sadly will never happen in this video, never happened to me, but has like I think a 12.5% chance to, it's basically Night Slash, I'm pretty sure. And then we're going to have the Beedrill in the back here as well, which is going to be very nice. We have a double poison team, a double bug poison team actually, with a dark type in the lead. It's basically reversed poison double dark, so pretty easy and common. This should definitely work out well. I know some people are gonna write in the comments, oh, this is not a 10k Stardust unlock team because the Beedrill is Shadow. You can of course just use a normal Beedrill. It has to have the Community Day move Drill Run though, because it's going to be a safe swap and you have a Pokemon in the lead that's going to be able to be very good against Steel types, and you're basically gonna try to bait out those Steel types with your Beedrill, as this thing has Drill Run, which can then kind of do some nice damage against them and a safe swap, and then you basically don't have to face Steel types with the Ariados in the back, as the Ariados has no move to hit Steel types. So this is basically the team idea and definitely worked out pretty well, and I don't think there's a better team that you can play really. Maybe something with a Swampert or whatever, but like it's really tough to make a team that has 10k Stardust unlocked where you don't really use Stardust as well here. It's a very difficult, especially also like here, the main reason for me to run, or that's actually stupid for me to not throw the X-Scissor, that was a mistake. The main reason for me to run this kind of line is actually Walrein. Like, I cannot really think of any team that you can run with 10k Stardust unlocked that doesn't die to Walrein other than this one. This one is pretty neutral against Walrein in the back and pretty decent with Elite Gear, but otherwise it's very tough to deal with a Walrein with every other Pokemon that's basically 10k Stardust unlock, unless you want to run something like Blaziken, and Blaziken is pretty horrible otherwise, so yeah. Here we see a Shadow Sableye, which actually going to be a nightmare for us, because this thing going to get us solo that can farm us down, which a normal Sableye wouldn't have been able to at this point of time, as I just barely miss out of the next move there, and they're gonna be able to win CMP here, winning them the game. Very cool to see a Shadow Sableye. Imagine I just threw my Night Slash immediately, I also would have won the game, but sometimes you just make a wrong plays. This is beautiful here. We see a Beedrill coming in here. We can go for one big lunge and we can farm this thing down, and we can go ahead and then can debuff the Bastion, and we already got the Beedrill out of the way, one of the most toxic Pokemon. Ariados just resist both of the moves, which is really amazing, as we can go for one lunge here, and it feels like I had more energy prior. It feels like I lost more energy from this lunge than I had actually. I'm not pretty sure, you can rewind this. I'm not sure if that was actually the case. It just felt like it also when I played it and looked like it again. But I don't know. As we see the Venusaur coming in the back, and we just hardware Grasshole with this team as well, which is amazing because we have like basically the hardest answers for all of them. A problem though can be Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen has a very decent matchup in the lead and has a very decent matchup with my Pokemon in the back, as we swap out now into our Beedrill, but we have to be careful because our one big Earth Power will easily be able to KO us. So we're going to shield this up. We see the Bastion coming in. We can go for one Drill Run here, as this going to get the shield from the opponent, which is nice. We can go for another Drill Run here, and this should be enough to get him into yellow health. It doesn't KO it, but it's fine, as we can now go into our Obstagoon and we can farm this thing all the way down, which is all that I really want, to be honest, as we can tank this move here, go for the farm down, have nearly 2 Night Slashes stored, and we see a Deoxys coming in. And this is kind of problematic. While we can go now into our Ariados, we have to shield up this move coming up here, which is going to be the Psycho Boost, which would be super effective and do a lot of damage. And they can swap into the Nidoqueen, which is also not the best. So we can go for one lunge, which is resisted, which is gonna put him very low. And I don't know if I should have actually thrown this move here, but I think I'm fine here. As I get the final shield, I will survive this move and I can farm this thing down, I'm pretty sure now. but actually they can still get to a move, and I think without the debuff there I might be able to still survive it because it's resisted and I got it debuffed, but because we got the defense debuff, 10% chance from the earth power, I think that's why we got down here, and that's why we also lose this game here. So good game there, 10% chance, kinda annoying. We see another Deoxys defense, not the best for us. We can swap into our Beedrill, and because of the lag in the beginning, which always happens when they see like a reconnection there, we were not able to swap out in time, but we see a Stunfest coming in here where we can go for one drill run, getting this thing low, and we can go ahead and actually I think I still survive one move here. It's going to be a rock slide, fine for me. I can go for the Exeter, which they don't have to shield, to be honest. They can just let this move go through, but they're still going to shield it, which I am happy with. As they go for another charge move, which is going to be the Earthquake. I maybe should have thrown my move prior, as I tried to now farm down with my Ariados, which didn't work either, so I threw the game here. Very nice from me. Good game trainers. We see an Umbreon coming in here, so this is going to be a little bit tough, of course, for me, because now I wasted one shield, and this one shield most likely going to matter, as we already know that they have the Deoxys defense, which is going to definitely threaten my health a little bit with their move. Psycho Boost, so yeah, it's going to be a little bit tough. We see here the foul play doesn't do a lot because we can debuff the thing, and we're going to catch the move here perfectly on the Obstagoon, but they're already in the range where they can swap out here, which is sad because I really needed them to stay in there. I can go for one Night Slash, I can get this thing low enough, I can go for one lunge, and can we actually still win this game here? We can go for one lunge, we're gonna get the shield, does this lunge KO? It should, it's super effective, it's stab, and it doesn't by 1 HP. That I can get to the move. If I got this move off, I 100% would have won this game there if I just farmed this thing down there with 1 HP. But also if I just didn't go straight into my Ariados against this Stunfisk and thought I could farm down with Poison Sting there, which definitely does only 1 damage per move. Yeah, I could have most likely also won the game, but like this, it's kinda sad. Kinda sad that we couldn't win this. We see a Nidoqueen here. Nidoqueen is going to go for some Poison Fangs. I don't know why, but it still does so much damage. Like, you see how crazy Nidoqueen can be. This thing just hurts, as we see that they go for another Poison Fang. I'm going to have to shield this up, and I can get my Beedrill very low here, and I can go for whatever reason for an Exeter, and actually can KO this thing. I don't know why they didn't shield. I thought it would be better for them to realign, but it's fine for me. I can go ahead, go into my Obstagoon, as they go for one Sludge Bomb, but we're still gonna survive here. You can go for one big Cross Chop, and they can farm us down here sadly, which is going to be a little bit annoying, as we're gonna have to take one crunch here, but we actually can get to our move before. Our lunge going to come through first, and as long as we don't get debuffed here, we should be fine. We get debuffed, but we see an Obstagoon. Maybe we still are fine. We don't know yet. We can go for one big lunge. This lunge coming through, we're going to get the shield from the opponent. Very nice for us. We can shield up this move. Please don't boost. We don't get a boost on the opponent's part. Still, the debuff really sucks from the crunch. We can go for one lunge. That was a nice rhyme, as we can debuff the opponent further, and the Night Slash doesn't put us into a range where they can farm us down. We can now go for one cross poison already, KOing this thing, and we can still farm down this nice Drapion in the back there, which had a 1 HP in a dream and winning us the game here. Ariados is just very, very good. Next opponent has Obstagoon in the lead. We can also have Obstagoon in the lead, and we swap out immediately into a Beedrill to get greeted by Skarmory. Skarmory is a little bit of a problem for this team, as you can see here. Our backline really doesn't want to face it, but I can still get to 2 draw runs, putting this into range where I can farm this thing down with our Obstagoon. I just have to hope that they don't have another Steel type in the back, but I don't know, my luck again. It might be a Steel type, but we have to see. We can shield this move up because it would do a lot of damage. It's actually a Nidoqueen, which is most likely even worse. So we're going to go ahead, go for one charge move. I should get to another one, but again, then I have to go into my Ariados, and the Nidoqueen still has enough health to survive moves from my Ariados. This thing will get shielded most likely, and this doesn't look too good. I'm going to shield this move up. It might be an Earth Power. It was just a Poison Fang. Good bait by my opponent. I can go for one lunge here, which is going to get no shielded actually, and I have to try to get the final shield here and maybe farm this thing down, but this doesn't look too good, to be honest, as I get the first move through, I can get the final shield, I can go for the Earth Power. Good bait by them. That's actually KOs me already, and that's going to be a good game. Next up, Justice of Person, I guess. We have the Sableye against us. We can just go ahead, go for one Night Slash here, and we should be pretty okay. This matchup is actually not as good as you might think. Of course, their fast move is triple resisted, which is kind of insane. But also the return does a lot of damage, so we're gonna shield this up. They're going to bait us. We can go for one Night Slash. They have to shield this to win this matchup, or like in general get to the return. They didn't. We see a Toxicroak coming in. Toxicroak is basically a hard wall to all of our Pokemon. Very nice, as we can get at least one shield here from this Pokemon. They go into the Walrein. We can go for one Drill Run, and we can get HAR Obstagoon at least against this Walrein, which is going to be nice, as we can put this thing into farm down range. And this Icicle Spear does do the job to KO our Beedrill, but we can just farm this thing down, go for a Night Slash against the incoming Toxicroak afterwards, and I can swap out then into my Ariados. But it's still going to be a little bit tough, of course, because this thing going to do some nice damage against Ariados. I have to shield this up. We have a lunge, we can debuff this thing, but I actually should just go straight for the Cross Poison, but I didn't for whatever reason. And I go for the lunge here, but it is fine, as we can now easily survive another Mud Bomb after this lunge. And I'm going to shield this up, and now I can go for Cross Poison, which I think would KO him from this range. But we have to see, they go for the Mud Bomb, doesn't do enough, we can go for the lunge. And this should hopefully do enough to KO this Pokemon. We will never know, because they just surrendered. Good game there. As we see the next opponent having a Azumarill in the lead. Horrible fast, we swap into a Beedrill. He's getting greeted by the Talonflame. Horrible fast as well, and also horrible fast move timing, because they didn't go for the charge move. I tried to CMP on it, but it didn't work out. If I didn't try to CMP on it, I would be able to just farm down at this point of time, but yeah. Kinda sad. I could have one back switch advantage, which would be huge for this team, but at least I can farm down. I also should have waited longer against the Azumarill, and this time the move, like in general, Obstagoon going to have a little bit of a tougher time. I swap out into my Ariados. We see the Drapion coming in, which is nice. As long as it don't get debuffed by the Crunch, I should be fine here, as the Crunch would be a little bit of a problematic debuff. Of course, instant debuff from the Crunch, as we can go for more Lunge. We have like all the ramps today, as we see that, of course, they go for another move here. Do we get another debuff here? We do not get another debuff, but we can debuff the opponent, which is going to be nice. Going to get this thing to throw a shield. I'm going to try to catch the move, didn't work out, and at this point, this game is basically over. They go straight for the play rough. I can go for a straight Cross Poison. I need 2 Cross Poison anyway, as they going to go ahead and go now for the move. Is it a Hydro Pump? Is it an Ice Beam? Nope, it's a Play Rough for whatever reason, which we easily survive. We had 100 energy now. Cross Poison easily KOs my opponent here, but is one lunge enough to KO this Drapion? It is enough, and we will win this game still just barely here with a sweep at the end from Ariados. Ariados is definitely the MVP of this team. If you have an Ariados still lying around, definitely you should try this thing out. It's a lot of fun. As we see an Ember version of Ninetales coming in, we have 2 bug types in the bag. We cannot swap out or whatsoever. This thing would completely annihilate us. So we have to stay in here. We can shield the potential, like it was actually just a Weather Ball. It always is just a Weather Ball, but I need to shield anyway, as we can now farm this thing all the way down, get basically the switch advantage, but also some energy here on our Obstagoon, as we see the opponent going into a Scrafty, which is amazing for our backline. We see the Kofax Regis coming back in. We go for straight Drill Run here, which is going to be nice, as this is going to do a lot of damage. Can we still get to the Exeter though? We will see if we can survive a Dark Pulse. We can survive a Dark Pulse. We can go for the Exeter, trying to get this Pokemon even lower, putting it into the deep red health. And we should have waited longer here in this matchup, because then we could swap out against the Scrafty, but we didn't, so we cannot swap out. And this comes really bad for us, as we now have this matchup where they still have a shield and we don't. One foul play is not enough to put us through like half health, which is good for us, as we can go for another one. They still have to go for 2 foul plays after this one, which is nice, as this will not put me into range either for them to farm me down. And now it's gonna come down to the wire. We can go for the lunge. Is this enough to KO the opponent? We have to see here. It is not. They can go for the move, and this is going to be a good game. Thanks for watching. See you on the next. Wait a minute, we still winning here, and we see you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day, and bye.